Just starting out in photography or outgrowing your current camera bag? Today we're going to talk about my favorite camera backpack that you can get on Amazon for under $50. If this is the first time that my face has been on your screen, my name is Zoe and I am a professional photographer based in Washington, DC. If you want to learn how to grow your photography business, improve your photography skill, and discover new gear to help you do it, start by hitting that subscribe button and turning on the post notification bell so you never miss one of my Sunday uploads. Growing up, I was lucky enough to have a dad who also had a pretty expensive interest in photography. He did semi-professional photography for our local newspaper for a while. And when I started getting into photography and bought my first DSLR, the best piece of wisdom that he gave me was that having a good camera bag was the biggest investment that you could make as a photographer, not just from the standpoint of organizing your gear and keeping your gear protected, but also buying a camera bag that doesn't explicitly look like a camera bag. Because if you're carrying around that normal size satchel that you get when you buy your camera that says Canon or Nikon or Sony on it, or even just like the generic ones that look like those bags that don't have a camera company on the side of them, it basically just screams to everyone around you, that person has a fancy camera. So when I bought my first camera, I bought it used. I didn't have a huge budget. And at the time, this bag was like $40 on Amazon. Now you can get it for $49.99 if you get it in tan, or $59.99 if you get it in literally any other color. It comes in like 6 colors. So definitely a very affordable bag if you are just starting out. I have carried this very extensively over the last 3 years. As a result, it does have quite a bit of wear to it, which I don't necessarily consider a bad thing, just something to take into account if you're going to be using it as extensively as I am. But for a budget bag, I would say it held up very, very well. I will have it linked down below along with, at the second half of this video, I'm gonna show you everything that I carry in my bag. So all of that stuff will be linked down below as well. But going into the details of the bag, on the side of the bag, you have a convertible pouch that can either hold a tripod or a water bottle. I have long since lost the strap that went through here that attached your tripod, because at the time I wasn't using a tripod regularly. So now I just kind of adapt and will tie something around my tripod if I choose to carry it that way. Most of the time, it just becomes a water bottle pocket. On the back of the bag, there are multiple buckles for helping take the load off of your back and evenly distribute the weight, which I think is fantastic, along with 2 loops that you can clip sunglasses, keychains, etc. onto. And then this entire pocket here is hollow, so you can put it on a suitcase if you wanted to. It also has a Velcro piece to hold it in place on your suitcase. Another really cool feature of this bag if you're traveling is you can unhook the backpack straps and tuck it into the trolley sleeve so that they are not hitting you as you walk through the airport, which, as someone who travels frequently and has other backpacks that I travel with, every backpack that you put on a suitcase should have the removable straps, because it's a game changer to be able to tuck them in and not have to deal with having them hit you. And then also, because they're all tucked in and safe, if you are someone who, like me, prefers to use a J-hook on their suitcase instead of a trolley sleeve, you can tuck everything in so that it's not dragging on the ground, and then attach the loop at the top to the J-hook on the top of your suitcase. And because it is a fairly shallow bag, it's not going to drag along the floor on your carry-on. My only complaint is that this mesh piece here is quite tall. I wish it cut off more about here, would make it easier to fit on a suitcase. But all things considered, if you're not traveling a ton, it's a great bag to take with you on an airplane. Definitely fits under the seat in front of you. Moving over to the front, there are 2 ways to access the camera cube. One through the side pocket, so you can just sling it over to the front of your body, grab your camera out, put it back inside. Super quick access there. And then you can also access the camera cube from the front. And all of these individual sections are removable. You could have a camera body and up to 6 lenses inside this bag, just in the camera cube section. Plenty of room to grow if you're just starting out, and more than enough space to carry quite a bit of gear with you if you do have a photography business. And then on the side here, there is 2 Velcro pouches for your camera batteries. And then on the front, under these decorative buckles, you have another pocket. I've never really used this pocket. My dad actually has the same camera bag. He uses this pocket all the time. I just don't love having to get under the snaps to get into the pocket. One of the first major areas of wear on this bag is that these buckles are starting to wear out a little bit, and I don't even like use this part of the bag all that often, so don't love that part of it. But from a decorative standpoint, they're really cute, and like I said, I have carried this bag hundreds of times over the last 3 years, so some wear on the outside, totally normal. Then up top, there is a little side pocket here that would be perfect for another spare battery, any type of filters that you have, your lens cap, so you don't lose that. And then the upper part is where I tend to hold all of my like random tech, electronic stuff, hard drives, cables, my wallet, etc. Would also be a place that you could store 1 to 2 changes of clothes if you were just going to take this out for the day. And there are 2 mesh pockets on the inside and a mesh pocket up here. And this is where I have seen the most wear on this bag, and it is that the lining has started to come apart up here. I would say that happened at about the 1-year mark, which is the most disappointing part about the bag for me, because in the first year I wasn't using it a ton. However, it hasn't continued to fray anywhere else. It hasn't like really opened up as much as I expected it to. There's no other parts on the bag where the lining is opening up. So something to consider. It has exposed the padding, which I will say is decent padding for the bag. Very happy with the level of protection that it offers. And then finally on the side, and this was a major selling point of this bag for me, is a laptop sleeve. There's a lot of padding between your back and the laptop, and then a decent amount between your camera and the laptop, and it will hold a 15-inch laptop. The only other major piece of wear is that the zipper for the laptop sleeve has started to wear from me keeping a keychain on the zipper pull for too long. So it really likes to sit at about this point. It's not going to cause my laptop to fall out, but it does not like to stay locked up top, which definitely my fault, but a little bit unfortunate. It's a very reasonably priced bag, and for the amount of time that I've had it, I feel like the wear on the bag is very reasonable. So now that I have gone over all of the features about this bag and how I have put it through the ringer over the last 3 years of owning it, we're gonna talk about how much stuff I actually can fit in this bag if I have to. I have it packed now for kind of a hybrid between what I would have for an event and what I would bring with me if I was to be traveling with this backpack. It has seen many a plane rides, many of events. And at this point, in addition to 3 years as a photography hobbyist, it has also seen 6 months of 5 days a week work as a professional photographer, coming with me literally every single day. The one big thing missing from the bag right now is obviously my camera and one of the lenses that I use most frequently. It is the Sigma 1.8 18 to 35 millimeter art lens. Love the lens, obviously, because I'm filming with it right now. Normally I would have that lens on my camera inside of my camera bag. Obviously I'm filming on it right now, so we're just gonna have to play pretend when we get to that part of the backpack. The bottom half is a camera cube and the top half is all of my junk. We're going to start up there because as cool as the lenses and the gear are, this is the stuff that I feel like really makes it as a professional photographer, and this is the stuff that I'm most curious about when I see what other people have in their camera bags. So starting up top, I have a extra insert for my battery grip that can convert it to run on AA batteries in case all of my batteries magically die in the middle of a shoot. Next, I have 2 SD card holders. One has all of my empty cards and one has all of my full cards. So ideally when I'm going out for a shoot, or I will have a bunch of empty cards in this one, and then I will have like one or two that have something on them, not necessarily full, but have other projects that I'm not ready to delete on them. I bring this one with me because there's usually extra space on them, but I try and keep everything to this one. Very important, keeps you organized, make sure that you aren't losing information along the way. Next, we are in the middle of a pandemic, so I always have at least one mask in my camera bag. Monday through Friday, I usually have 2 or 3. They are in the wash because it is Saturday. So I have one in there right now. And then my wallet, because usually when I'm bringing my camera backpack, I am not bringing a purse. I have an anti-reflective lens hood. So if you are trying to take a picture through a window, you pop this on the front of your lens, press it against the glass, and all of that awful glare goes away. This is probably one of my favorite $10 gadgets that I could possibly buy as a photographer. This would not be in my bag if I was just going to an event, but if I was traveling, it would definitely be in there. It is my graphics tablet. If I'm going to be editing at all, if I'm going to be gone for multiple days, I will bring this with because it connects wirelessly to my computer and makes editing so much easier. Then I have a card reader. This can read micro SD, SD, and CF cards. I don't use CF cards for portrait work, but I do use them for real estate stuff, so card reader that does it all. I'm allergic to shellfish. That is common at events, so my EpiPen pretty much lives in my camera bag at this point. Haven't had to use it, don't want to. Also don't want it to be at home. I 2 pencils, one of which is now on the floor. A mini tripod that is always handy if I getting tired of holding my camera, need to set it down, need a tripod for something. This one is just an easy, quick go-to to have in my bag. USB adapter for my MacBook, Ethernet adapter for my MacBook, extra adapter for my charger to take it from 3-prong down to 2-prong, lens cleaner, and finally allergy medication. Next on the side, I have a microfiber cleaning cloth. Always comes in handy, cleaning off your lens, cleaning your glasses, cleaning your computer screen. Nice to have. And then, like I said before, I have had this bag for quite a while, so bits of it are starting to wear, including the side zipper. But I have my 15-inch MacBook Pro. This is probably my biggest priority in being able to have this bag, is the fact that it can hold my entire 15-inch computer, and it feels very, very safe and stable in there. And then moving on into the camera cube, which you can access either by the side or through the front. I don't keep anything in this front pocket at all. Here I have several batteries in the battery holder, and it can hold, pretty sure, up to 8 batteries. So you have 8 batteries in here and 1 or 2 in your camera, you're gonna be set. You might have noticed I don't have a battery charger in here. It currently lives in my car because I work in my car so often, but that would be something that would go in the top pocket. And then I have my external hard drive. While I'm out and about, I can start to move things over to my external hard drive. I have a tether cable in case I wanted to connect my computer to my camera to shoot remotely. Air blower for cleaning my camera. A tape measure. I do a lot of real estate, and it is just nice to have a tape measure with you when somebody's asking for a tape measure. And then into the lenses that I bring with me, like I already said, my 80D with a battery grip and my Sigma 18 to 35 is what I'm using to film that, and all of that would normally be in my camera bag. In addition, I have the Canon 50mm 1.8. This is the new STM version of the lens. I also previously had the other version of the lens. It was okay. The focus started to wear out. Highly, highly recommend, if you're looking for this lens, only buy it used if you can find the version 2 of this lens, because I bought the original version used. I was very unhappy with it. It's a $150 lens. If that's out of your budget, go for the newer one. I used the newer brand 50mm for a while. Next, I have my telephoto kit lens. It's the Canon 75-300. This is probably the next lens that I am going to replace in my collection. Would really, really like to get a 70-200 at some point. Probably still several months off from that. That's a fairly pricey lens, but I do get a good bit of use out of this guy. Then one that I really don't use all that often, so the first one that would be taken out of my bag if I need to, is my 18-55 kit lens. Really the only reason that I have still held on to this one is because it has image stabilization, which my 50mm and my 18-35 don't have image stabilization. So if I was in a pinch, needed the image stabilization, my kit lens has that on there. And then I have the Canon EFS 10 to 18 millimeter, and this is a absolutely fantastic lens, probably the hidden gem of the like budget line of Canon lenses in my opinion. Wide enough that I can vlog on it. You could use this for real estate if you needed to. I have a different lens that's issued to me by the company I'm contracted for that I use for that, but it's a very similar lens. Any of the vlogs that you have seen recently have been done on this lens. You can actually buy a kit of this lens and the 50 millimeter together, and quite a bargain. Absolutely love this guy. And then lastly, on the side of my bag, attached to my zipper, I have my AirPods. I tend to shoot in solo environments throughout the week, or if I'm traveling, I just like to be able to listen to a podcast, pass my time. Obviously, if I'm with a client, I'm not listening to a podcast, but nice to have when you need it. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing my review of the GoGroove camera backpack and all of the things that I keep inside as a portrait and event photographer in the DC area. If you have any thoughts on this particular camera bag or any recommendations, as I am now shopping for a new camera backpack, probably within the next couple of months, I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. If there's anything that you think that I missed in the review of this bag that you have discovered in owning it yourself, I would also love to hear that as well. My name is Zoe and I film photography videos here on YouTube every Sunday. And if you are interested in learning how to grow your photography business or more information on gear you can have to help you do it, I will see you back here next Sunday. Bye guys.
Dripping, 'cause we're spending the night. And it feels alright, but it's over now. Time keeps slipping with your skin next to mine. And your lips I can fight, but it's over now.